Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Tonight is a brand new venue, brand new chronicle, and this is the beginning of the mage chapter of Chaos in London. Today we are having a special little gathering of all the mages that are new to the city and those that are current residents. See, there was this big bad business happening in Hong Kong, and the mages there had to get out. So some of them made it out, and now they're in London, getting to know the rest of the members, the traditions in the city. So Sarah Jane would have sent word over to the other chantry saying that we should get our people together for a little bit of a getting to know you sort of thing. As for that, she set aside the tea shop that she usually uses for small business meetings outside of the chantry for everybody to go and meet up. So I'm going to start with saying that Luke is already going to be there. For those of you who don't know who Luke is, it's Sarah Jane's 16-year-old son. Um, he is basically a Custos and hyper intelligent, so don't let that get by you as well. He's there. Seems a little disappointed that he can't bring his dog, and we'll say that order of operations is order of people going in. So we'll start off with Adam. Kim, are you playing or are you just kind of
Oh,
cruising?
no, I'm playing.
No, not Kim two. Kim one. I meant.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm a play.
Okay. Adam, then Kim one, then Marcus, then Evan, then Kim two, then Anthony, and then Joey, and then it'll be a search for Tiger.
Cool.
Adam, go right ahead. We'll say that you were invited there by your chantry leader, the adept who is constantly running around doing stuff, said to the hermetics, "You should go to this little cafe and get to know people. Go on, shoo 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 shoo. Oh, and don't go into the crack den. You have a crack den? No,
The,
of course we don't have a crack den. That would just be weird." And they'll walk off.
she'll kind of raise her eyebrow at that. By the time she gets there, she probably got a little bit lost. She went there on her own. So she probably finally figures out that this is the building that she's supposed to go to, and she'll just kind of take a look on the outside. What does it look like?
It looks like a normal shop where people would go to have afternoon tea. Crumpets and petit fours, scones, all sorts of little tasty things, as well as multiple different types of tea and coffee.
Excellent. So I just walk in, kind of look around.
You would recognize Luke. He waves a hand.
I
He's
wave a hand
he's
to him.
actually behind the counter right now, since we don't want mundanes in here at this time.
That's what he says.
No, that's you would probably. I was just saying that for exposition. You probably would have found it weird that Luke was behind the counter, considering the fact that he's 16 years old and the assistant of a master. So
So she'll walk up to him and say, "Hey, Luke."
Oh, yes, Hannah. How are you adjusting to the Southwark Chantry?
Almost like a labyrinth, that place, but I'm getting the hang of it. At least
Oh.
the rooms.
Well, so is my house. Can I get you anything?
You have chamomile tea?
Actually, do you want milk or cream?
No milk or cream, just a bit of honey.
Gotcha. Go ahead and take a seat.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks.
Go ahead, Kim one.
Okay. So this lady walks in. She got red hair. It's up in a high, very fancy curly ponytail. She's got like 5-inch high heels on, very like not suitable for like day-to-day wear heels, very sparkly. This bright pink dress, and she's carrying her own like giant coffee mug. That's just one of those ones you carry around. It's also in pink with her initials in it and glitter on there. And her husband's with her, walking next to her. And she'll smile at Luke. Miss me?
Luke will just smile back. No, but thank you for sending over the petty fours. They're quite good.
And she'll say, excuse me if I don't partake. I tend to not drink or eat anything that's not made by my own hand. You can understand why, though. And she'll
He'll
nod to
nod his
the
head.
good person.
Okay, so going now to Marcus. Marcus, you would have been introduced to Hannah briefly before she had to go get some sleep. You know, you would have been told that she's undergone a harrowing ordeal and has come from far away. When the master was sending you guys, not the master, the acolyte, the adept was sending you guys over to the tea shop, he made sure you went with her because she doesn't know the area very well. So.
We might have gotten separated at some point. She tends to get lost fairly easily in unfamiliar places, so we can explain the separation of her.
Yeah, we're talking like what's the word? Roronoa Zoa from One Piece lost.
Yeah, we could go with that.
Like Ryoga lost?
Yeah, that too.
He comes. He doesn't come. He's not stomping when he comes in, but he opens the door forcefully. He's got the same black T-shirt he has on in the picture. His head jerks to where she is. He sees the 16-year-old kid at the counter, and he just kind of. He doesn't really say anything, but he waves. And then he goes to the table where Hannah is and goes, "You're supposed to stay with me."
And she looks at you and goes, she's like flicking her fingers. Look familiar.
I am Carnifex. You're not supposed to leave my side. That would be bad.
And she kind of goes. She just kind of like puts her forehead in her hands, and she seems to come back up and gains a little bit of lucidity and says, "Sorry about that. I guess I forgot."
Luke will bring over Hannah's tea and then ask Carnifex if he wants anything.
Coke. Lots of Coke.
Do you want anything to eat with it?
No. I like my battery.
Go back, grab a bottle of Coke, and set it down in front of him. And Evan, it's your turn.
Okay. Because this character does not enter via the front door for reasons. The bathroom door will open. I will make the relevant roll to actually, data myself into this place if you'd like.
Yep. Are you on the Discord?
Are we doing the Discord rolling as opposed to rolls rolling?
Yeah, just to make things easier for people.
Can somebody throw me the link to the thingy? Thank you, Tiger.
Tiger for the win.
I tell you what, while I get that set up, Brett, if you could just pound me down 3 dice, it'll be diff. If he uses his foci and custom foci, it'll be diff 4. And he'll spend a willpower, so he can definitely do it anyway.
I keep forgetting how to roll on this thing. Right, just realized it. You got 2.
Okay, I take it that this place is relatively familiar, so that should be no problem for him. He will.
Your master actually owns this place. She
yeah.
just doesn't close it off all that often. It does have chantry protections on it.
Cool. In that case, he will walk. He will basically take a step from his own chantry as he's opening a door, and he will digitize himself and step out of the door in the coffee room or the tea room. Before closing the door after him. You guys will see, once again, he's wearing the same kind of red overrobe that he's wearing there, mostly to conceal his face. The eyes, he's wearing glasses over them, but if you look under them, they are kind of very slightly luminescent blue. He is leaning on a cane quite heavily, and every so often there's kind of a click-click noise from a respirator that's kind of, it's not Darth Vader-ish in the sense that it doesn't breathe over him as he talks, but every time he takes a deep inhalation of breath, there's this like click-click sound as he does so. As he says, he'll walk into the room and he'll say, "Ah, good evening all. So many new faces."
And I'll just kind of softly wave to him.
Oh yeah, as I say, he obviously has the monstrous flaw, so appearance 0, and the face underneath the mask looks exactly as pictured.
Luke is going to walk over with something very specific for him to drink, and is going to say, "You should be more careful, you know."
He'll nod. He will say, "Indeed. Has your mother arrived yet?"
No, she won't be coming. This is more for you guys to get to know each other. I'm just here to make sure the place runs smoothly.
I understand. He will then bow to the collective room, leaning on his cane, and he will say, "Well, my manners, I'm led to understand that some of you have already been acquainted with one another. I have yet to meet you. My name is Professor Xavier Rathholm. A pleasure to make your acquaintance."
And with that, we'll go to Kim too.
They're just doing this in like a random tea shop, right?
No, this tea shop is sort of a place that all the mages in the southern boroughs knows is a safe place. It's owned by Master Sergei, and it's warded with channel protections. But it is also open to the public. It's just that in certain instances, Master Smith closes it off.
Okay. So, you know, would a random orphan know about that then? Would word have gotten around?
If you've established yourself in the city, then yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she's been here for a little bit. She mainly just knows, like, some other orphans that go to the library and they talk. So, okay. Okay. So, a fairly tall redhead will walk into the room. Her hair is in a messy bun and she looks absolutely done with this world. It's very clear she has very little time for happiness of late. Yeah, she's about 6 foot, but she has kind of a stoop because she's leaning on a cane. Very, very heavily leaning on this cane. She's got, well, her entire ensemble of an outfit is black. Black boots, pants, shirt, and a jacket that's kind of thrown over it. Beside her, on a leash, not a leash, but a harness, you know, one of those like big harnesses and stuff, is, if you guys are anything familiar with large cats, is a serval. So it's a big fucking cat, but not as big as a big cat, obviously. Anyway. And it's probably got like some service animal ID along with that. And she'll just kind of walk in.
Luke will look up. If you've ever been here before, you would have seen Luke. He's 16 years old, brown hair, blue eyes, speaks really fast about things that nobody really understands.
I might understand them, that is all.
Can I get you anything?
No thanks.
All right, Roger. Now, Anthony. So basically, I'm assuming you're staying in the Southwark Chantry with everybody else.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you would have gotten the same thing about there's this cafe where some mages are meeting up. So go and introduce yourself. And we've never ever had a crack den, and you shouldn't look for it.
Okay. So Roger comes in. The first thing that you will notice about Roger is how impeccably dressed he is. Not the most. He is an average-looking male, but what he is wearing would indicate either a man of wealth or a man of station. You see him. He has a. It looks like a briefcase or a backpack that's slung across his shoulder, and it's filled with books and what have you. Every now and then, if you stare at him for too long, it almost looks like his body gives off a bit of almost a off-whitish tinge, almost like he's perpetually glowing. It's a little disconcerting, but more or less you could probably attribute it to the lights in the vicinity, what have you. Good evening. Hey, what's going on, dude?
Luke will look over to him and say, "Would you like anything to drink or some tea cakes?"
Some tea
Maybe
and
scone?
crumpets. Yeah, tea and crumpets.
Crumpets.
Yes.
What kind of tea would you like?
Could you just give me plain old Earl Grey? It's fine. With lots of honey. And
Okay.
milk.
And milk? Okay. He'll start making the tea, gathering some crumpets. And with that, we will move on to the final person to enter. Will be Joey. Well, not the final person to enter, but the final person to enter the establishment.
Yep. So I presume Michael would have just told her about this place and told her to go there, right?
Yep, pretty much. He would have said that this is a place that the master of the Society of Ether Chantry has put aside as a safe meeting place for mages. He will warn that there are times when there are ordinaries in there as well, but that he had received word from Master Smith tonight that there was going to be strictly mages and mage personnel in there today.
Yep. So what she'll do is the door will open and you'll see a woman with flaming red hair wearing a black leather jacket that has little like patches on it and on the back of like band. They look like they would be like band names almost, but you don't recognize any of them. And she's carrying a shopping bag in one hand. Some random. Let's say it's Aldi's. She went to Aldi's. And she walks in with her purse slung over her shoulder, looks at everyone, smiles, gives a really big, bright smile, and says, "Hi, how are you guys doing?"
Pretty. She kind of looks, kind of jumps a little, kind of shakes in her seat, or I should say, gets startled. Says, "Oh, pretty good." And she kind of takes another sip of her tea.
Everybody else that's ordered tea, it's now out, as well as any drinks have been brought out. You will notice that Luke is working on a what is it called? The Cremon Bouche, the big tower of profiteroles. He seems to be working on making one.
You know what? The Xavier will just kind of he'll tap his cane on the ground for a moment. And he'll just say, "Ladies and gentlemen, if I may have your attention for but a moment. On behalf of the Society of Ether, we would like to welcome you here. You are all our honored guests, and we hope will continue to be our honored guests. We merely ask that you treat this establishment with the grace and dignity that it deserves." And he'll kind of just politely nod his head at that, kind of, indicating he's done saying anything.
And she'll politely nod back at you.
You get a polite nod of confirmation.
Carnifex arches an eyebrow and says, "Okay."
Actually, Roger will just go and sit next to Hannah. You should have said something if you were leaving.
So all three hermetics are now clustered around one table together.
That was fucking clique. Does Roger look because Hannah looks a bit different from when you last saw her. Does Roger look different? Or is he the same?
Roger. And Roger will always be Roger.
Gotcha. She'll say, "Hey, Roger."
Why didn't you say anything? Goodness.
What?
You literally left the same spot.
Same spot?
Yes.
She kind of looks at you like, "What do you?" Like she doesn't say, but she kind of looks at you like, "What do you mean?"
If somebody could have like almost an irritated expression, but his gaze kind of softens and
Right. I remember now. That was kind of silly. Should have just brought you guys along.
probably.
Sorry about that.
Who's your friend?
This is Carnifex. Although I'll be honest, I'm sorry, I don't remember the rest of your name.
Are you for real right now?
You would have bumped into Carnifex at least once or twice when you came into the chantry, but you probably didn't have a lot of time to get to know each other.
She wouldn't have remembered the full name.
No, I was talking Carnifex and Roger.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so he will kind of put out a hand.
He does not dap you up. He does shake your hand very firmly.
No, he doesn't do that. It's like it's a handshake.
Okay.
So he will say, how's your day going?
I have to take care of her, and I have to make sure the old man doesn't kill me. It's been busy.
And a look of sympathy crosses his face, like, I'm sorry. But like,
You know, he didn't ever specifically say that you had to watch out for me. But
He never specifically says anything.
this is true.
Roger sits back and feels like he somehow dodged a bullet. Anyway, like,
If Carnifex is still looking at the door, like all the exits, like someone's gonna come in here and do something.
You okay? She kind of still has some... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the lady with the ridiculously pink everything comes over and she's like, "Hi, you guys seem rather lively today. I'm gonna see
Hey,
what's
how
going
are
on
you?
over here."
how are you?
I'm Lily. She'll just smile and say I'm Lily. After she said yeah, like she said everything that I just said in character.
Fair enough. My name is Roger. I am one of the adjunct professors here. Just here. It's a new city. I'm taking it in. I haven't been here since I was younger, but I do remember a lot of the same things are still here. It feels amazing to be back.
This is a nice city. I'm Hannah, by the way. Nice to meet you, Lily.
You guys smell hot caramel.
Be careful not to burn it. Is Lily's advice.
Oh, you see,
Yeah.
Luke has the pan of hot caramel and is basically, if you've ever seen somebody make a croquembouche, you put the profiteroles on and then you like cover it with hot caramel to get it to stay in place. So he's literally just drizzling hot caramel all over these profiteroles.
And there goes my diet. It's so ruined. I'm going to eat every last bit of this. I will gain
Carnifex gets up from the table and he walks a circuit, like he walks outside and he looks to the left and looks to the right. Then he walks around the building Then he comes back inside. It says it looks like he relaxes a little.
I can assure you, sir. Once again, he almost sounds breathless when he speaks, but you are quite safe here.
Saying it so confidently, it makes me a little worried.
Hi there. Who are you? My name's Roger. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Roger. I'm Emma. It's nice to meet you. And she sets down her
So,
shopping bag.
stripper. Are you always a stripper? Serious question, not being condescending.
Well, I'm only not chipper when I'm sleeping because I live here. You know, you gotta enjoy life while you have it, right?
In whatever way.
One of those, like, you ever see somebody that fucking shit sunshine and somebody just clearly doesn't?
Shit, sunshine.
He just looks at you and just nods and says, well then. It's good to see you.
Dimitri waves.
Is she
Right.
serious?
He just looks at you.
Are you serious?
Who's serious?
The woman over there, is she serious?
I suppose so. I'm not trying to be rude.
Hannah just shrugs. Why don't you go ask?
I'm not going over there.
Was serious?
Very well.
No, I missed that.
It's really impolite to give somebody names, but the incredibly chipper one. Emma, right. Emma. Names.
Wait,
Yeah.
you were instructed to meet, so I have to go talk to them.
That's usually what that means. We have
Crap.
I mean, he looks at you and his expression softens. I mean, you don't have to be best friends, but like a nice hello is usually sufficient.
Xavier's cell phone's going to beep.
You will take it out and look at it.
There's a message from Sarah Jane. It says that sensors detected the presence of a freshly awakened nearby. I'm running a further analysis. I will send the uplink to Luke's PDA.
You will respond with excellent. It seems as though it might be wise to give this gaggle something to rally themselves around.
Text back will say, I hadn't even thought about that. I'm too busy running loop quantum gravitational calculations.
You will respond with, don't forget to carry the one again. You remember what happened last time.
You keep bringing that up. That's not a good thing.
Xavier will replace his phone in the folds of his robe, and he'll say, once again, it appears as though I must play master of ceremonies. My friends, it would appear as though our senses have detected a newly awakened etherific convergence within this local diameter.
Roger will write down the words and be like, "Oh, you mean?" He'll just sigh, like if somebody's being unnecessarily verbose.
Oh, my apologies. I believe the term that you would say is someone is experiencing their moment of epiphany.
Okay. So are we just going to sit here? Or are we going to go do something? Or
You see that Luke pulls out a PDA and says, I have the coordinates here. Looks like there's a certain convergence in hyperflux temporal dynamic theory.
Oh.
I'm not gonna
English, motherfucker. Do you speak?
Temporal, so something to do with time.
Oh no, it has to do with the current way that time is moving.
She just chuckles. She's like, "Well, you tell him where we are. At least I'll go check him out."
He will. Do any of you have an NSF system in your phones?
Yep.
Like Roger just looks at like, what are you even saying? What are you even going on about?
I'm trying to.
Who are these?
I'm trying to figure out how best to coordinate the efforts between.
All right, not to get everyone confused. A straightforward left, right will do wonders. Which way?
I'm detecting him within Croydon, about 3 blocks north, 2 blocks east, just
Anna writes this
between,
down.
just between us and Southwark.
That works beautifully.
Xavier will just sigh as he says, "Can you send me the coordinates, please, Luke?"
Oh, of course. He just his fingers move faster than they really should, and you've got the coordinates on your phone.
Excellent. As I've said, I should make this obviously clear for my joint compatriots. London is not necessarily a technocratic stronghold. However, things slip through the cracks. So it might be wise if we make sure this individual has their first word spoken to them by friendly ears rather than unfriendly ears.
So we're leaving now. As he just looks back at Carfax, like now.
Let's rock.
Luke will hold up a hand and say, "Please take some profiteroles with you." Once they cool too much, he motions to the croquembouche. If they cool too much, they will no longer have their crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside texture.
I will literally take some, wolf it down, and make my way.
It's like having a caramel covered donut.
I was
fine,
like,
Luke.
I look over.
Thank you, though.
I look over at the dude with the mask on, and I'm like, "You're from here, right?"
Yes, sir, I am.
What are the gun laws like here?
He will. You see him blink twice, and he'll say,
Do not
Well,
break the law, Carfax.
Rather-
Look back.
At this
To answer
point,
that question, sir, the gun laws are rather restrictive.
Kim,
Really will speak. If you even have a toy gun that looks remotely real, you should be arrested.
Yes. Remember
Right.
that we are just fresh off the London terror attacks, sir, so there is always going to be a constant police presence, so please be as mainstream as possible. I know ironic coming from me, but I do what I can.
Cops have guns. I'll take theirs. Let's go.
Actually, I don't believe they do. She says.
What?
I will point out that's not true. The MET, the MET, which is the London Police Service, do have guns.
Oh, okay, my bad. Maybe.
Not average patrolman.
Well, you could clarify that in character because you might want to do that. I don't know. Though she says, "I'm not quite sure though." She shrugs. Well, let's go find this.
There'll be plenty if I need one. Let's go.
So Lily heads out the door with everybody, I guess. I almost forgot. Have you guys?
you froze, Kim. Yeah, you said
Yes.
heavy gun and then nothing.
Okay. Have you guys seen Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not me.
Who are you? Eating? I'm sorry.
Watch it, Adam.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be that anime nerd and say Brotherhood or original. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. He's in both.
Do you know Izumi's husband?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is Lily's husband.
Nice.
Amazing.
Y'all are speaking Sanskrit.
I think this character can speak Sanskrit, actually.
The big buff butcher guy is her husband.
Which is ironic, actually, because I just looked it up. Carnifex means butcher.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are out the door.
Well,
I just want to warn you guys. This might be a trap.
might be.
I don't know what always is.
Guess there's only one way to find out.
No, my master tries to kill me on the regular, so he might try and kill you too. Just saying.
Why would
Well,
your
that's-
mentor...
Let's not do
Let's
that.
just-
He just looks at Carfax.
Let's just go.
Xavier was just internally thinking, why would your master try to kill you? I have tea and cake with mine on a semi-regular basis.
So she'll just, she'll follow either Xavier or she'll go out. I guess she's going to be taking the initiative and going first in the direction where, based off of the coordinates that Luke gave. She has her notebook out.
Just to kind of make sure where we're going, Brett, as they walk, Xavier's going to just tap away on his phone. I want to just basically use a Data 3 effect in order to access security cameras, ordinary security cameras that might be in the general vicinity of the location that I was given, just to make sure that this new mage isn't like, I don't know, lighting the place on fire with his mind or doing something that means we have to go quicker.
Okay. Go ahead and make the roll.
Brett, do you mind if I erect a simple mind shield?
Nope, you're perfectly fine to do that as well.
I'm gonna be. Did my mind shield transfer over? Let me see. How long did I make the duration for?
Your mind shield is still in effect, yes, but it will end its effectiveness by the time that we're back in normal time.
Cool. That's fine. Perfect.
Also, Brett, how do you want to deal with my the subroutine, my Sharingan we joked about? Do I just roll the thing and it's for all duration, or?
Yeah, you roll it. It's all duration.
All right, cool. So first is the mind shield.
So Brett, that's 4 successes to throw up basically the pictures from the cameras onto his. Actually, he'll throw them onto the cybernetic camera in his eye, so you can just watch them out of the corner of his eye.
All right. So what you're primarily seeing is a man who looks like he's basically a vagabond or a hobo, who is moving extremely fast, but he's also clinging to walls and climbing them.
Okay. I make a mental note that I'm probably going to have to start deleting this footage from servers when I get home, because we don't want that to be looked at tomorrow. No, we don't.
Yeah. He's also doing some extreme parkour.
Oh, Christ. At which point Xavier will inform them, it would appear as though our friend has discovered transcendental locomotion.
Is that a drug?
Look, she says, I think some of these terms that you're using are going above our heads. You mind just using just common vernacular?
The ability to push oneself via the forces of nature and the gravitational constant of the universe in order to propel oneself.
We call that forces where I come from.
Okay.
Not everybody's civilized like us. Let's just keep moving.
Let's just keep going.
This is the most fun thing about playing an Aetheryte, saying shit no one else understands.
So while they're walking, Emma is pretty much chatting super animatedly with whoever will talk with her. She's like one of those super annoyingly peppy people.
Hey, so is Lily.
Hey, who would have guessed the TV Thanatos would get along swimmingly?
Because he's currently tracking where he's going as opposed to where he was, all of a sudden Xavier's just going to take like a really sharp left. You know, it's like he's walking, turns left.
Okay.
Am I gonna need a strength plus would a strength plus athletics keep up with this guy, Brett? To like chase after him?
No, he's lame as hell. You do not need strength athletics.
He's.
I think you meant the parkour man.
Oh. Is anybody going up after him onto the roof?
Sure.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, unless you're using forces to accelerate your movement and life to make yourself stronger and faster, then you can't catch up with them.
I guess I could do both. It would take a while.
I got forces. I will hi-ya martial art kung fu 52 blocks this shit. Why not?
So give me 1 minute. I'm gonna do a little bit of something.
Actually, I'm not gonna do that because he would expect me to do that. I'll just follow him.
Okay. So sorry, what, Anthony?
I was just going to. Can I use a correspondence tool effect just to find a quicker way there? Because that's literally what correspondence does.
Yeah.
Without being obvious.
Yeah.
And flying through the air like Superman.
Yeah, you can do that definitely. Go ahead and roll that.
Okay.
By the way, you guys should be rolling in the dice rolling chat, not in the general chat.
My
Okay,
bad.
so
Can somebody link me?
Tiger, you've been doing it for everyone else.
Bam. There you go.
On it.
Shit, we have a Discord.
Yeah, bud.
while everybody else is rolling dice, Lily's gonna yell, "Hey, hobo, you want some food?"
All right, so Tiger, since all of a sudden you are now snapped out of it, and you are standing on a rooftop near a access ladder, and there's a few people on the ground looking up at you.
One of them just asked if you wanted food.
Alright, so, yeah, like he described, pretty vagabond hobo-ish looking dude. Hair's cut pretty short. Shorter than mine is currently. He looks pretty... He's not short, he is. He'll just kind of look down. Everybody.
Hannah will just look up at you. You okay up there?
It's fine. I don't even remember coming up here.
Well, everyone. Sorry.
Well, we'll get to you. Okay, don't move. All right.
Okay, whatever.
So I got 2 successes on the correspondence one. I just wanted to be able to basically what Anthony recommended to try and see if I can't find a faster way up there.
Let's see, how many successes?
I got 2.
2 successes. Okay. There's 2 ways to get up to him. The first way is to go into the building, go up to the roof access, and let him in that way, or go up the fire escape.
What kind of a building is he on?
He's on an apartment building.
Okay.
It's a brownstone. It's one of the small, narrow ones, about 5 stories up.
Well, it's either the fire escape or the stairs.
I recommend we take the stairs. Fire escapes look like we're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, let's just do that.
The front door has one of the buzzer access things.
I push all the buttons.
Please. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hannah would just go, whoa.
If you
Somebody
don't
will.
mind, Xavier will just very casual. Will just calmly walk up. He'll basically, Brett, can I do into technology to basically kind of release the door clasp?
Yeah, if you may want to do that before he actually. Did Anna stop him from pushing all the buttons, or did?
I was just about to say before he can press too many buttons, she's gonna stop. Just put her hands out and say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Let's not do that." Hey, and she kind of looks and says, she actually just looks to Xavier and says, "You think you can help us?"
Xavier will nod before he walks over, and he'll tap it with his cane to kind of open the buzzer panel and whatever else have you. Because normally, it'll either be key card operated, or if they've got a key service, it probably has an ability to buzz people in. So he's basically going to just confuse the system into thinking it's buzzing someone in, and I'll make that.
Fortunately, the one button you hit didn't have
First of
anybody
all,
home. So,
is there any security guards at the front? Like if they see us opening thing?
No, it looks to be just a basic access. Like you get the feeling that there's no real security guards. There are security cameras though.
That's fine. I have arcane.
Okay.
That's 4 successes for him to basically buzz us in.
Yep, you are able to use the catch bypass and buzz yourself in.
Artifacts will do his best to avoid cameras.
Cameras all around us. That camera is going to be looking away as I basically burgle this place.
There are 2 people talking. So, Marcus, what were you going to say?
Sound effects is just going to try and avoid the line of sight of all the cameras.
Okay. Well, they get budged out of the way by something, so you're able to get in.
While all this is going on outside, Emma is like trying to basically she's just talking about like random shit.
Dude, you need to talk directly into the microphone because you're breaking up.
Okay. Also, I know there's like multiple people.
Yeah, but you're the only one talking, and you kept fading in and out.
Okay. Is this better?
Little
Little
bit,
bit.
yeah.
Okay. Emma is just standing outside trying to talk to Tiger's character, talking about random shit, basically trying to keep him calm.
Oh yeah, like Lily's standing by the fire escape,
Like,
talking to her husband.
he doesn't look like he's panicking or anything. He's just sitting up there, continuing the conversation, I guess. He looks mostly confused, more than like upset or panicked. But
Okay, now for the Scooby Gang. You guys get inside. You see that there's a stairwell and there's an elevator.
Stairwell. At least I'm going to the stairwell.
Okay.
And she'll say thank you to Xavier before she goes. Give him a nod too. And she'll just kind of head towards the stairs. Is the door open?
The door is not locked, but it is closed.
All right, so I'll open it.
Okay. Yep, you're in the stairwell. Anybody else going with her?
Yep.
Okay.
Xavier will like kind of curse underneath his breath that he's fucking running in Louis Vuitton leather shoes. They are not meant for running. He is very upset as he makes his way up the stairs.
Hannah will try and go 2 steps at a time.
All right. In answer to Marcus, no, there's nobody else following you. Okay. So everybody that's going upstairs is going upstairs. What is the rest of you guys doing?
I am still talking with Tiger's character and kind of keeping an eye on like the area around us to make sure like nobody sneaks up on the group. If you want me to make a roll for that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Perception alertness, I'm assuming. Right.
Yeah, make a perk alert.
Okay, just want to make sure before I roll anything.
Kimberly, for your spirit sight, which I just noticed that you did roll, not a lot going on in the spiritual world that seems strange or different. Mostly just, data spiders running back and forth, carrying messages, that sort of thing. You don't see anything suspicious or out of the ordinary. It's nighttime in England. It's fairly, this area is more of a residential than anything, so there's not a lot of weird stuff going on.
Sounds good.
Okay, so the Scooby Gang makes it up to the roof access. You notice that the door is locked to go out to the roof.
It is locked?
Yes.
Am I picking another lock?
Is this do you guys know how to pick locks, or I have an idea? And then she actually just kind of sees like she'll just knock on the door.
Okay, Tiger, you hear knocking coming from the roof door.
all right, he'll lean his head over, like not over enough that he's clearly gonna fall off, but just kind of like he's addressing someone on the ground, and yell at Joey's character. Hey, someone's knocking. I'm gonna go see what it is. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
He'll walk over and walk over to the door and see if he can open it.
All right, it's actually locked on that side.
Why? Well,
Well,
For those of you who haven't lived in apartment buildings or high-rise buildings, the roof is always locked on both sides and needs a janitor key to access so that people can't just go out onto the roof and fuck with things.
joke's on them.
Or indeed, fuck each other.
could I do like a forces 2 effect to like put. Can I try to use a forces 2 effect to push a bunch of air into the lock, and like try to jam the door open, or force the door open?
Forcing the lock open, like you want to
Forcing
do.
the lock open.
That will keep the lock where it is.
Gotcha.
Basically,
okay.
just break the lock without making it move one way or another.
Okay.
And I don't think you have the fine-tuned manipulation skills to create a key out of air.
Gotcha. Okay. She's kind of Adam's thinking, at least. Not sure if Anna is.
Roger will touch the door and kind of wiggle it a bit and so start scratching at the lock and a little bit of a shove and kind of put his like weight behind it, going for a coincidental matter to effect.
Okay. In answer to your perception plus awareness roll, let's see. There are magical effects going on. Mostly it's from your own people. With the people around you, it's not from anybody else.
What's my diff?
Let's see. Is it difficulty of the material?
What is the material? I don't know that.
No, I'm saying, I'm trying to remember. Are you doing melt and reform?
Basically, he's trying to, yeah, basically. We'll do it that way. Easier.
All right, so 5. Is this, do you have the road for it? I can't remember.
No, I do not. This would be,
Diff 6.
Diff 6. Fuck it. I'll spend a point of willpower. Fuck it. Whoopsie. I'm in the wrong place.
Oh, by the way, Marcus, roll perception awareness again.
Look. She'll say that.
Let's see. That's 1 success, so you are able to melt it for the round. I mean, for this round. So basically what you gotta do is it melts and then you knock it open.
Yep. Oh, look at those vandals. He just keeps walking in.
Yeah. All right, so Tiger, the door opens, and you notice that for a moment it seems like the thing that holds the door in is gone, and then it's back again.
I'll blink a few times and shrug. Stuff.
Hi, my name's Roger. What's your name? Nice to meet you, Danny. Listen, can we talk for a bit? Can I buy you some dinner?
I mean, I'm not gonna say no to food.
All right. Shop a few. There's a shop a few blocks away. It's on me. I'll pick up your tab and we can sit and have a chat. Yeah. All right, this way. And Roger will just kind of nonchalantly walk back down the stairs with Vagabond in tow. We're going back to the coffee shop. I'm gonna buy him some dinner. It's fine.
Xavier will kind of cough, probably, you know, as he clutches his cane, and he will say, "I recommend that we move with all due expediency. As I've said, we will not have been the only ones to detect this anomaly."
No.
And by the way, Tiger, in case your character reacts to it, I do look absolutely freaky as fuck.
Yeah, he's definitely like sitting on the opposite side of the group from Xavier.
So Hannah, you got your aura sight up. A lot of sparkling auras.
That's sparkling. It's good.
All right. So, what's your favorite food, man? What can I get you? Step, step, step. Walk, walk, walk.
Whatever's easy to grab, man. Not gonna lie.
All right. So, like, what about you? From London? You just kind of
Lived through all my life.
awesome.
Hey, she'll say, she'll kind of walk up next to you and say, "That's pretty cool. I guess myself, I only just got here recently. I'm Hannah, by the way." And she'll give you a nod.
Danny, nice to meet you.
Awesome. Nice name. And she'll kind of give a look to, like, she'll give a nod to Roger, saying, like, "Yeah, this is the guy." Like that kind of nod.
Roger will look back and saying that, according to our information, he should technically be the only one here.
She'll nod her head. She'll like rapidly nod.
So
to make
I
sure.
guess on the way out, he will flag towards Emma and Lily. Got him.
Lily?
Xavier says we should leave. I think we should leave. You girls need anything? Door closed behind him.
Hey, Marcus, did you get what I said in touch?
So, you want to tell us how you got on the roof?
Climbed.
Did you use a ladder?
Oh, my character fixes.
You're very quiet, Marcus. I don't know what happened, man.
Yeah.
Carnifex says you should look up.
I'll look up.
There's nothing up there.
With your good
What?
eyes.
She'll kind of squint. I don't
Nothing. Roll perception awareness, everybody who's got it. And has some form of magical sight up.
I have uncanny insight as a specialty. So.
Yep, that'll work.
Danny will look up and he'll just kind of squint and he'll say, "I've only got the one pair of eyes." So.
Roger will look, and I apologize, but you're about to get a hermetic way to do things. And like,
I got two.
I kind of want to explain this to you with like a hot meal and not in a life or death situation, but I guess your training starts now. So I'm going to need you to focus that way. Focus your mind, look this way. I swear to you, it's not an acid trip. And there's a meal if we survive.
Oh, okay.
On me.
Okay. So, for the people with 2 successes, there's an effect flying over the city, like right over the city. For those with 3 successes, there's a powerful effect hanging over the city. For the person with 5 successes, who actually has spirit sight up, there's a scrying effect hanging over the city.
She's gonna flip at the bird.
Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word.
So the creepy girl with the serval just flipped the bird at the sky.
Xavier's going to basically, using his ocular computer, he's going to basically send a message to Aetheryte home base, basically saying, "We have secured the newly incumbent, the newly enlightened one. However, I unfortunately think that our location has been discovered sooner than I expected. ...
You'll get a message back, and it comes through on Sarah Jane's number, but it's not Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane is currently busy with something. How may I help you?
I see. He will say out loud this time rather than text. "Interesting. It would appear as though they've isolated my frequency. Amusing. They clearly want this young gentleman, rather disconcertedly so."
Evan,
So much.
just pull you aside. When
Yeah.
Sarah Jane's busy, Mr. Smith answers your text.
Oh crap! This is the computer, isn't it? Okay.
Yes, it is.
He'll say, Are you currently capable of identifying? Are you currently capable of identifying / quantifying the disturbance at? And he'll give the exact location.
I believe that is what Sarah Jane is currently working on. Is there anything that I can do as a library access system that can help you?
Not currently, no. He will then disconnect from the communication. He'll say, "My mistress is currently working on dealing with the above topic. However, I feel as though forward locomotion at incredible rates would probably be rather indicative to our survival."
In layman's terms, we're getting in the car and we're going fast in that direction.
So,
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna walk up to the new kid, Danny, right?
Yeah.
So,
Joey, you missed it. He's off the roof and he's not with you guys.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're all down on the street now.
so I have a drink. It's going to make you sleepy, and it would help if you drink it. But if you don't want to, I won't give it to you. But it tastes delicious.
When you say it's gonna help,
Well, you're not gonna get murdered by whatever's watching us.
I don't know if
Yeah,
that's the. Go ahead. Sorry.
so he's just gonna say it wasn't gonna happen in the first place.
Here, let's just here. Let's go. Let's just get out of here first.
You guys feel that overbearing, scrying presence gone.
Ah, it would appear as though she was successful sooner than I had anticipated.
You should probably let your associates know, looking at Xavier, that whatever might be tailing him could be tailing all of us, and there should be a way to clean us so we're not actually bringing whatever's here back home.
He
will
looks at
say
you.
to that, "Oh, I don't think you understand, sir, but there is nothing that they could learn via us entering buildings that they do not currently know already."
Marcus was going to say something. So go ahead, Marcus.
He looks at and Burton. He says, "You know we never."
Say what? You broke up, bro.
He said, "We don't have to worry about that."
Oh, you know what? You are certainly right. And he just stops himself. It looks like he's about to go and like fight that logic. Like, well, we should probably be good people. Nope, not today. Wait.
I'm
You
going
say
to
you got it. You got it.
follows you guys.
What you're just following? Is that what you said, Joey?
Eating an ice cream sandwich, following behind.
All right. So you guys heading back to the tea shop?
Via a circuitous route.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not like shot in the back of the head.
Yeah, I'll
I
say you
have
guys.
foresight, so if there's any glowy people that I can see that isn't necessarily would normally be hard to see, I guess that'd be kind of cool to know about.
No, you're not seeing anything out of the ordinary.
She'll give updates to the party as if she sees anything. She seems to be looking around though, pretty a little bit paranoid like.
Well, what? Paranoia keeps good mages alive.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Yeah. I mean, paranoia in the world of darkness is almost fine.
Yeah, you guys get back to the tea shop with no incidents. When you walk in, Luke looks like he's holding something that he quickly puts underneath the counter. Oh, good, it's you guys.
Random question, because my character will probably know this. Was it a disintegration gun of some kind?
No, it was a hyperspace relocator.
Excellent.
So just say, "Hey, Luke, we're back."
Luke, I hand him $500 worth of like cash. Buy this man 3 meals.
He'll stop and say, well, we don't really have meals per se, but I think I could whip up some sandwiches. Do you like croque monsieur?
Danny's
Or
just
Monte
gonna
Cristo?
look at him like, look at how I look,
All of
and then
it.
ask him what that means.
So basically, he's going to go in the back. He's going to come back out with 3 sandwiches with chips. If you've never seen a croque monsieur, it's basically a badass ham and cheese. He also brings out a Monte Cristo with a side of raspberry jam. And if you don't know what Monte Cristo is, it is a deep fried ham, turkey, cheese sandwich sprinkled with powdered sugar.
So it's deliciousness wrapped in deliciousness. Gotcha.
Yes.
Pretty much.
And the third one will be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And all of them are served with chips. Not crisps, chips.
Roger will outstretch his hand to like the homeless man and say, "I'm a man of my word." Again.
He'll look and then just start scarfing down. Like, he looks like he hasn't eaten in a little while. It's definitely been more than a day, at least.
So there's some things I'd like to explain to you. So today it's been very weird. However, you have just awakened into a world where you have limitless possibilities.
She'll sit across from Roger and Danny.
So
Still scarfing down the sandwiches.
So essentially, you will be able to take a more active role in which way your destiny goes.
Time to practice.
Can Carnifex hear this conversation from outside, Brett?
Are you still outside, or did you go inside with everybody else?
He waits till everybody else got. As he's coming in, he hears that part of the conversation. He looks at Robert and Hannah, and he goes, "Stop. Neither of you are Potter or Mater.
Hmm?
Huh?
You are Potter or Mater."
Anyway, so he just keeps on explaining. Kind of just keeps talking. So this is basically do you have any place to go?
He'll
Any place you
Swallow.
frequent?
swallow and say, "Nah, you should just sleep in the park."
He'll shrug and say, I have an apartment if you want to crash.
By the way, a quick question, because Evan knows it out of character, but no, actually, Evan, Xavier will probably know it in character. I think Evan knows it out of character. Potter and Mater are mother and father. Isn't that the Latin?
That's basically it's a hermetic instructor. Technically, if we have like a second level sphere, we could become Mater and Pater. So
My question is, what?
Not really.
Because I know it's a Latin term.
The Latin is mother and father, mater and pater. However, there's specific hermetic assignage to those names as well.
yeah,
Cool.
basically
That's
means
cool.
mentor.
Xavier was just wondering why he was tough. Because Xavier's translating not from a hermetic perspective, from a literal perspective, because he speaks Latin. So he's just thinking, why are you talking about being his mother and father?
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
I should be able to get you a fresh pair of clothes, and maybe we can have a more in-depth conversation, maybe? Just I don't want to overload you. I just want to make sure that you have like a hot meal and everything.
I mean, I do have a few questions.
Ask.
Now's the time to ask.
Open as I can be without risking any pertinent information.
Alright, so I'll start simple. Why are you guys taking such an interest in me besides the whole,
You're a wizard, Harry?
yeah, that thing?
What she said.
That's literally, okay, gotcha.
Magic, Xavier will say, magic is one perspective of looking at the true scientific way, yes.
We're not talking about science and your hoo-ha woo-ha. Xavier just starts around.
Luke's gonna bring over some tea for him to drink and say, "It's not that bad, really. I'm hoping one day that I will finally understand my paradigm and grow beyond the limited abilities that I currently possess."
Whoa, hey. let the man enjoy his sandwich before you start throwing words around. Like,
Emma just moves in today and says, "Guys, I'm interested in you because I think you're a pretty cool dude. I always like making friends."
Xavier just kind of throws Luke a withering look like we're dealing with cavemen, but doesn't say anything.
Considering the fact that Luke has a higher intellect score than you do, you shouldn't be throwing that term around.
Hey, it's you know, it's part of the human condition, I guess, to think that way sometimes.
I'm a hermetic, and I think anybody that's not hermetic is automatically inferior. So, like,
Was that in character?
do I say what?
Did you say that in character?
No, I'm just
No,
making,
none of that little jabbering was in character.
Okay. Lily's going to give Danny a business card for like Caroline on Bakery. I also have a spare room.
Okay. So what? It's just like get a prize if you manage to convert whoever to wherever.
I'm not trying to convert you to anything.
Yeah, well, Luke, couldn't we get in touch with Sarah Jane? Maybe she might know. Maybe she might have a place to say it. Can't remember the word right now.
Miss Sarah Jane is
Right.
currently dealing with the aftermath of the disturbance above us. She will make herself known when she's ready to do so.
I just think that you obviously say that you kind of sleep in the park. A soft bed is usually better, or even a couch is better than a hard park bench. I'm not trying to sell you anything or put you onto anything. Just literally a shower and a soft bed.
Not wrong.
Luke will speak up and he'll say, I mean, he can have a spot in the barracks if he wants. I mean, they're mages not just of our tradition that come to the house and sleep there and such. So, whatever he wants to do is fine.
Mhm.
I just want to make sure he's fed properly because he needs,
Nutrients,
yes.
foods, sustenance.
And unfortunately, I don't feel like strapping an IV to him so that I can give it to him properly. But I've actually managed to combine the healthiest. Sorry, I blinked on that. Oh, if only K9 were here. It's so much good at keeping my train of thought going. Oh yes, the foods that I've given him are the healthiest assemblage of good fats, carbohydrates, and proteins that I could assemble at the time with what I have.
Very
He's gonna
thoughtful.
look at the sandwich with the powdered sugar on it, and then look back up at Luke.
He'll say, it's very good. It's a Monte Cristo. It has the proper combination of meaty, sweety, melty, and cheesy.
I'm not saying it wasn't good. Like, it is really good. But you just said you had the healthiest thing, and then there's all this powdered sugar.
The powdered sugar is part of the recipe. Plus, I think it makes it taste even better. Did you try it in the raspberry preserves? I made those by hand.
I'll nod and continue eating.
I think that Luke has stumbled onto the best possible option, if I'm frank. After all, he is newly enlightened. So it is that we do not know if there will be aftershocks of said enlightenment. It might be better if he is in an environment that is equipped to deal with such instances.
Well, how about she'll kind of look to Danny and she'll say, did you feel this? I guess. Let me think back. Did you feel this rush of power today, or did you feel this come on some time ago?
He'll think for a second. A few weeks ago, actually. And then he'll look down at his hands like he's just remembering that they really fucking hurt all of a sudden.
Evan, are you snoring? Never mind.
Saw some weird thing grab some lady, take her down an alley. Around the alley, looked like it was trying to eat her or something, and it didn't end well for it.
Hannah will just kind of nod with a soft face, and she'll say, "I don't need to remember that stuff right now. Just go ahead and eat."
Here, have some cocoa.
Is there do you have any other questions? Though you asked before why we have such an interest in you.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose the simplest way to explain it is we're trying to make sure those who may have more ill intent don't pick you up and introduce you to all this. Just trying to look out for you, I guess. We've all, in one way or another, been in your position and confused. At least I know I've been.
Emma leans over to Lily and whispers, "Does everybody?" She goes, "Does everybody talk?" Sorry, it's not picking up my voice in whisper, but she'll be whispering this, and she'll say, "Everybody talk this formally, or is it just these guys?"
It couldn't.
I couldn't make that up.
Yeah, speak into your mic, man.
I don't have a mic, so is that better?
I'm really trying to hear. I'm like pushing my headphones against my ears.
Yeah, same here.
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
See, you don't have to sign on to anything. You can do your own thing. It's just we're trying to give you friends to count on.
Yeah, it's pretty hard out there for I guess Xavier putting in Enlightened one to make it out on their own by themselves. It's nice to have a group, a support group, But we're not forcing you to stay or anything like that. Your will's your own now.
No. I guess if y'all can arrange, or if you guys can arrange it, barracks or whatever, sound good.
Excellent.
Hear me.
One moment in that case. Xavier will, you once again on his private message server send to the message log he has with his mentor at least, and if she's ready, she'll answer. If she's not, she'll say, "We're safely back in the tea shop. Have acquired newly enlightened individual. Think it's best that he spend some time in the barracks. Is this amenable to you?"
You'll actually get a text back from Sarah Jane this time. Oh yes, of course, that's fine. The new ones must be protected after all. Is he going to be okay with us, or should he go with one of the other groups? I just want to make sure that a proper environment for his education is provided for if he needs it.
To respond, indeed, hashtag indeed, comma. One of the Hermetics offered to take him. However, another one of them seems overtly hostile at the concept of perhaps revealing secrets of their order, etc. But then again, it might be better if he is placed in an environment where the learning is his option. Thus, I feel we may be able to cater for this, at least for now, until he takes his own path.
Very well. If he wishes to come over, he can. Just make sure he understands where he should and should not go. I don't want to find another charred corpse in the high energy room.
Indeed. It took us 2 weeks to clean the last one.
Took you 2 weeks to clean the last one. Don't forget that, Avernus.
He
What's
will Sorry, what were you saying, Marcus?
He looks over at the guy, the new enlightened individual. He stops drinking his Coke for a second. He goes, "No one said this to you, but if you fuck this up, you'll explode and die."
Whoa!
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, you're a lot clearer, man.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Guy
So-
kind of rolls his eyes and it's just like, well, I tried.
Okay.
She'll just kind of shake her head and just kind of look back and say,
I'm not wrong.
You're not explaining yourself is the problem.
Don't need to.
He's just.
Well, at
he's
any
gonna-
rate, what
Yes,
he
she
means,
does.
what he means very specifically is your newly awakened self. You'll be able to do things, and when you do these things, if you push too hard, too fast, and you reach beyond your limits, and trust me, you know what your limits are, bad things will happen to you.
And if you go against what your average everyday man, woman, or child understands, then that can also hurt too.
Really, guys?
Wow, you guys are all super positive. I'm sure you're making him super excited to be one of us.
Your condensation is noted. Thank you for your.
I'd rather have the warnings in front of the. I'd rather have the warnings in front of the spell than after.
Or you could let him eat and tell him not to do anything crazy, and then tomorrow you can all talk it out when he's not just, had something super freaky
You have a
happen.
conversation we just had. Just looks at her and rolls his eyes like.
I mean, hey, you do you. I'm just like, you just are all kind of crazy.
But let's just.
I literally said this before.
How about
everyone
this?
started to fight
You
over
eat-
this person.
She's gonna move the argument somewhere else. She's gonna get up and move Roger and Emma. And she's gonna look at Danny and she's gonna say, "You eat, you sin, be cool. We'll hash this out."
Xavier will walk forward, leaning on his cane, and he'll kind of put a hand on Danny's shoulder, and he will say, "We would like to offer you, at least temporarily, until you are more on your feet, a place to stay. It will be safe, and we will keep you safe until it is you understand the new entity that you have become."
Oh, and Luke is going to bring you a double bacon cheeseburger.
He'll take a few bites out of it and just kind of say, "All right, ignoring the whole exploding thing. Do you guys all have the same group, or is that a conversation better someplace else?"
It's a conversation.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the group is kind of split in two now. So there's basically me, Luke, Danny, and I think that's it, standing at one end of the room while the others
No,
are
Lily's
down the
there
other end
too.
of the room to have an
No, no,
argument.
You misunderstand. He's talking groups as in are you in the same thing as Roger, for example?
Oh yeah. No, I understand that. I was more asking just for the purposes of speaking or whatever else, just so I can understand who's standing around, so I can
Right,
kind of.
because I moved Roger out of the way.
Roger didn't move.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
So nobody moved. There's still a little bit of argument going on.
so she at least just say, "Look, guys." She at least go in between Hannah and Roger. Say, "Look, guys, if we're gonna talk about this, can we move over there so that our new friend here isn't overwhelmed?"
There's literally nothing happening.
Yeah, it's all right, man. We ain't even salty, man.
Okay. Sounds pretty bad.
When the word salty is said, Luke will say, "I should hope not. I've perfectly examined every measure of salinity in all my food that I prepare."
It's a saying, Luke.
Oh,
Salty. Saying someone is salty is as if they're really mad or irritated.
oh! Why don't they just say they're irritated?
So it's slang,
Because I didn't grow up in
To
the
answer your
1930s.
Oh, sorry, continue.
Sorry, you go.
He was saying, to answer your question, I'm sorry, your first name is Danny. What is your last name?
Briggs.
Mr. Briggs. To answer your question, we are all of a similar dint in the sense that we all work a similar causality of science upon reality. However, different societies and we refer to them as traditions, view the science in different ways.
To answer your question, yes, there are factions, but we can get to that later. She says if you finish wrapping his hands.
Kind of looking at Lily with a thankful expression. I literally didn't want to have this conversation right now. I kind of just want him to eat, and then everyone started fighting over the new version.
By the way, Danny, what's his like? Because I assume I still have the mind sight up, right? Sorry, the aura sight.
Yeah, your aura sight will be gone in 10 minutes.
Okay, so I just want to ask Tiger, what's Danny's like kind of emotional state right now?
You've done enough mind sights and stuff to know what color corresponds to what emotion, right?
I would say Hannah does at least. She studied that stuff.
Okay.
I just don't remember the different.
Mostly confused, uncertain, a little excitement whenever he's like eating the food, but other than that, mostly just.
She'll just say, well, she'll just sit back down. Calm.
But more so what else, well, I mean, you guys answered the question, but you guys are all roughly together, not exactly together. But
We're allies. I'm thinking of it like that.
All right. I will tell you the absolute truth. This is a clique. Not all cliques go along with each other. We all kind of do the same thing, but different ways. And we all have a different way of looking how to do the same thing. In Schleman's terms, we all view changing reality and or magic differently.
Like Catholics and Baptists.
Okay.
Some people think
by the way, when you said, what was it, something and magic, Xavier will just kind of very casually say science at the end of that.
They'll just say magic louder, like, I don't, whatever reality deviant you claim to be.
Hannah will smirk at that.
But literally, my whole objective here was to make sure you got some food, which I promised.
Luke will come out of the back. This time he's going to be carrying a steak with garlic mashed potatoes, with maitre d' butter that's a fennel sage blend, melting on top of the steak. And he's going to set it down in front of Daniel. He's then going to provide him with a proper steak knife and fork. He's going back into the kitchen.
Good cooking, Luke. Looks delicious.
Completely ignore the utensils and just grab the steak and start running.
You notice that's been perfectly trimmed, so there's like no fat or gristle on it.
Like unheard of. Delicious. Oh, wow. Well, Xavier will look at the assembled group. I think I've had enough socializing for today. And I'm going home. And we'll look back towards Danny. Our offer still remains open. With that, he will pull out one of his burner phones, place it in his hands, and he will save his number in the phone to another one of his burner phones. There you go.
Daniel and say it's nothing personal, just if I'm apparently going to explode, I'd rather not do it in your apartment.
You're not going to explode, but what my associate here thinks is should be taken with every ounce of credibility. When you do magic recklessly, bad things happen. He was honest. Vulgar, but honest. Any place you go, there's a likelihood of that happening, if that makes any sense.
I got you.
None of us have any role on you. We can't force you or tell you to do anything you don't want to do.
I'll nod and just say, thanks.
Anytime.
All of those bandages are just put on your hands.
Steak. He has like chunks of food in his mouth as he's saying this.
She just rolls her eyes and looks at her husband. It's just like, the one time I tried to heal a person. Well, it wasn't technically healing, but he's like, I know what you mean. Just like, yeah.
By the way, Brett, because it might be important and whatever else, Harry, once again, private message server, he's going to say, have you been able to identify the source of the incredibly large / powerful disturbance earlier? Question mark.
Remark back, no, it cut itself off before I could complete the translocation. The translocation sigils. I believe it came from London itself, but it could be anything. It was definitely an attempt at scrying.
He'll respond with, "That is disconcerting. The amount of etheric and transcendental energy needed to produce such an effect would be quite impressive."
Indeed. That's why I'm continuing my analysis.
He will kind of then blink and he'll say, "We are still currently trying to identify the source of the incident earlier. As we've said, the technocracy, the other individuals, or the other clique, as it were, for our new friend, who we are not exactly on friendly terms with, are not exactly... We are not losing to them as badly as we are losing elsewhere here in London, but we will need to identify if the attempt at... I believe the term you would use is scrying, was perpetrated by them or not."
So you know what he means. You know how big churches, we're trying to keep you away from the equivalent of what Westboro Church is.
I did not hear a word of that, Kim.
So what she says is, we're just basically trying to, you know how churches earlier, we're trying to keep you away from Westboro Church.
Ah.
That's what she says to Danny.
Luke is now going to come out with 3 perfectly browned game hens and set them down in front of him. He's going to go back into the...
Those game, well, at least one of them will be gone before he makes it back into the other.
Okay. He's heading back in there anyway.
Weird question, Brett. I've been in that kitchen several times. Is he actually cooking, or is he using some kind of matter replicator?
He's actually cooking.
Holy crap. Okay.
he has the knowledge of a Michelin star chef.
Oh, excellent.
And the skill to use it. So,
by the way, Brett, what protections are laid on this particular building?
Anti-scrying, anti-temporal manipulation, anti-spatial manipulation, anti-external energy projection. So,
okay.
Basically anything that tries to melt its way through or shoot its way through isn't going to get through.
Okay. Cool. Just wanted to know for future reference.
So basically all Luke's going to keep doing is feeding this guy until he reaches 500 pounds. So keep going unless you want to stop.
He's going to keep fucking eating. He's starving.
The next course out is going to be a full pot of sukiyaki.
Nice.
Blue, don't make his stomach explode, and you might want to know his hands are fractured, I believe.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure he has had enough food.
We'll be able to do this
while eating.
I can prepare some food to go for him. Okay, that's an affirmative. He's going to go back into the kitchen.
Tiger, how badly messed up are your hands? Like, just by a cursory look.
You know how badly hands get messed up whenever you like punch a dude's skull into paste?
Ah, crap.
Great.
Yeah. He'll say, I see. We'll deal with those back at, what was the name of our chantry, Brett?
You don't. It isn't actually isn't actually a name. It's an address.
Ah, what's the street name?
Give me a minute. I gotta look it up because my brain doesn't remember stuff.
We're gonna fit tonight.
It's 13 Bannerman Road.
He'll just say, we'll deal with that at Bannerman Road.
One of the benefits to magic is we can fix that, and she'll gesture to his hands. I personally can't, but
Nor can I, unless he would like metal hands.
He'll look thoughtful for a second. Probably not a good idea.
Emma's just watching this.
For those who don't know what sukiyaki is, it's Japanese beef hot pot. It's beef and fish in a miso broth with noodles and veggies, all chopped up and diced up and added in there with kind of a mirepoix feel to it. Some diced potatoes, some fish sauce, some soy sauce, a dash of mirin. It's freaking delicious. It really is.
But yes. He kind of makes a mental checklist of, right, so we've recovered straggling indigent. We have fed straggling indigent. We'll get new clothes for the straggling indigent. We'll bath the straggling indigent. Things.
I hope he's saying these things out loud. If Lily would think it's hilarious.
You know what? He is saying them out loud, but he's saying them out loud in one of his many languages that I doubt very many people speak.
Joke's on you, I speak all languages.
Oh, holy shit!
You're gonna have to stick with. Is it English?
It is not English. But he was, out of curiosity, Tiger, this is going to sound like a really weird question to ask, but how filthy is he on a scale of 1 to I haven't showered since before there was a Christ?
I mean, it's rained a few times.
This is London.
I will point out, this is the one moment I'm happy my character has a respirator. Foxy doesn't get that smell.
It probably doesn't smell the greatest.
I'm back.
Danny's already dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
What killed him? Exploded stomach.
So, any combat happen, or was it just talking?
No, Lucas continued to feed him like the best stuff in the world, and finally Lily's like, maybe you should not feed him anymore before he dies. So now Luke's in the back preparing stuff to go.
He kind of looks at Hannah and he's like, Carnifex does, and he says, Carnifex looks at Hannah and he says that you need to do something social with these people.
She kind of shakes her head and almost like as if she's coming out of it, and she goes,
All these people. You should go social at them. I'll stay here.
If you want, sure. Why not? Sure you don't want to... And she kind of stops and says, and she just kind of nods at you and goes to the table. She says, so everything's good going on over here?
Well, Luke tried to make the new kid's stomach explode by feeding him. Let's see, what was it? 3 sandwiches, a steak.
From the kitchen, you'll hear 3 sandwiches of different types, 1 double bacon cheeseburger, 1 steak perfectly prepared, 3 Cornish game hens, and a pot of sukiyaki. And I'm bagging the rest to go.
Xavier will calmly walk to the kitchen door, open it, and he will say, kind of the respirator will take a deep inhalation as he says, Luke, if I am your father, not really. He will say, Luke, you and I have had the conversation about the intentions of individuals and sarcasm. I very much doubt he intended you to feed this man for 500 pounds worth of food. More so, he intended this as an ostentatious display of supposed wealth, power, and station. You do not need to feed him the rough equivalent amount. As a matter of fact, please don't. It may kill him.
Luke will sigh, finish prepping what he has, and say, I can always make more at the house.
Yes.
He's going to put everything together in a basket, and he's going to carry the basket out and set it down on the table. You've seen the kitchen at the kitchen at the actual Chantry itself looks big enough to be inside a 4-star or 5-star restaurant, and it's obviously used by Luke because when your mom works all the time, you have to fend for yourself.
But Xavier will kind of close the door. He'll just kind of make a mental note. Needs to upgrade Luke's sarcasm lessons. One day he will get it. Before walking back to the group and saying, I do apologize, as I've said. I've gotten so little of an opportunity to get to know you all, but you do seem like such interesting people.
She'll say, you seem interesting too.
Yes, it was quite interesting to meet you.
He'll once again do a little bow, kind of, leaning on the cane. And he'll say, oh, sorry.
She'll smile and just do a nod after you do that. Like a really low nod.
I'm led to understand that from the vague reports that I've been given that many of you who were involved in the Hong Kong incident came away with, how to phrase, many scars, some of which visible, many of which not. As I said, I've yet to be given the full dossier. But needless to say, I hope that London comes to be a salve to some of those wounds. It is a vibrant city, after all, and it could always do with more friendly faces.
Guess I could just use some peace and quiet, she just says with a smile.
Luke is going to set down chamomile tea with honey for Hannah.
She smiles at that and says, "Thank you, Luke."
And he's going to top off Carnifex's Coke.
What did Carnifex say? He said good something?
Did good luck.
Are you always so negative, sir?
This isn't negativity. It's realism.
She will order a. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Do you know where Shirley Temple is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, she'll order one of those.
Okay, Luke will go mix it and bring it up. Set it down in front of you. So for those who don't know what a Shirley Temple is, it is also known as the Kitty Cocktail. It is a mixture of lemon lime soda and grenadine with a cherry in the middle.
Does it actually contain alcohol?
Grenadine does have alcohol in it.
In that case, Xavier will very calmly walk up as he's about to add the grenadine, take the bottle out of his hand, add the grenadine, put the bottle down and say, I don't know if your mother wants you interacting with alcohol or not.
But I work with alcohol in the lab all the time. Ethyl alcohol, methyl alcohol, pseudoglycine. Why would this be any different?
It is more the fact that one of which is fit and indeed enjoyed upon human consumption, the other of which is not.
Okay. He'll finish it off with the cherry and then take it over to her.
She'll smile really bright. Look, thank you. This looks delicious.
He'll just nod his head. I've never had one before, and then we'll walk off.
She'll go, no, come back. Here, you get the first sip. And she'll hold it out for him.
He's underage.
Yes.
Lily will say.
Well, how old is he? Like, how old does he look at least?
He looks like he's 14.
Okay. Then she won't do that.
Oh, a sip's not gonna hurt him.
Hobo, you were literally broke your hands climbing walls. You can't tell the.
Didn't break it climbing walls. I broke it beating the shit out of a monster.
By the way, I forgot to mention, if there are any lights around us, when Hannah walked by, they did get dimmer when she walked by.
And Emma's shadow is currently waving at Lily.
Gotta love echoes.
I actually have to make a perception check to notice that.
Luke is just going to go back to the bar, or the coffee bar, and he's going to start making himself something to drink.
So,
Because Xavier knows the answer to this, what age is Luke?
You're not sure.
Oh. Has he always been the same age, regardless how long I've known him?
Somewhat, yes. You swear that he's grown a little bit in the past 5 years.
Excellent. Ish.
Sorry,
so he could
go
well
ahead,
be able
Marcus.
Sorry, continue.
Hannah.
Oh. I was just gonna say, I was just gonna ask Lily, what do you do outside of all of this?
We're no gourmet bakery.
Oh, nice.
She's got a big cup with the glitter on it, but she likes to charm. It's what she's been doing. It's one of my personal favorite products.
She'll kind of sigh. She'll just kind of sigh, do a heavy sigh, and just say, "As much as I'd like to, I think I'll turn that down for right now. I have an upset stomach."
I would be very interested in trying some of your goods at some point, my dear.
I'll have some sent over to your chantry. Sarah Jane orders from all the time. I'm surprised you haven't seen it before.
He'll kind of tap.
Mom is very particular about who she gives sweets to. I don't even get to try them.
He'll tap his mask. He wears the same mask as I have in the picture, and he'll say, "Eating around other people is not exactly something that I or indeed they find pleasant, you see."
Like I said, I send sweets to the chantry all the time.
What about you, Emma? What are you up to these nights?
Well, I'm a cook, so you know, that's the thing. Yeah.
So we got a baker and a cook. Looks like a professor over here.
We could form a quartet band.
Oh,
I wonder who would play the drums.
When I say I'm a professor, for the record, that is just my equivalent rank within the Society of Ether and how we introduce ourselves.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that. I haven't actually talked to you Etherites that much.
So, for example, Miss Sarah Jane is our chairman, or our chair, as we call them. Chair of Studies, I believe is the exact term.
Cool. She just kind of actually just nods and just kind of seems to lean back in her chair and drink more of the tea.
And you, Miss Hannah, what is your profession?
Well, I used to work in a RC shop not too long ago. But for the most part, I'm just doing my studies at whatever place I can do them. So I'll see what work I can find here. See if I can't put any skills I have to use.
Are you in need of employment in the interim?
Well, what are you offering?
He kind of looks over at Luke and he says, I'm sure that something like waiting here could be arranged.
Waiting?
Luke will nod his head. Yeah, I mean, we do have a mundane staff for the restaurant during the day. We just lost a waitress. Apparently, her boyfriend is a chav-slapping hooker and needs to get bent. I don't understand what that means, though.
I think I know who you're talking about. It's not great.
As much as I would like to take that job, she kind of taps at her head, and with my current impairment, I don't think that would be a good idea. I just forget orders all the time, mix things up, forget tables. So.
Luke will nod.
But I appreciate it. Maybe she kind of scratches her head. Yeah, I'll find something. Drinking more tea.
Carnifex is just kind of eyeballing everybody doing their conversation part, and he just kind of shakes his head.
And you, sir? He says, denoting Carnifex, because why not? Let's walk down this rabbit hole. He will say, what is your profession?
I don't have one.
No.
No.
I see. Are you also in the process of looking for employment?
No. I have a very specific curriculum that I'm involved in right now. It makes outside work difficult.
Also, I forgot to mention, Joey. Lily did notice and she waved back.
Okay. When she waved back, Emma will just look down at her shadow and roll her eyes.
At the mention of curriculum, Luke will perk up a bit and say, I wonder if it's as difficult as mine is. I'm still trying to get the waveform function dynamic out of... Have you had any issues with that?
No.
What about hypermultilinguistics?
It's more of a it's more of a practicum class.
Oh, so you're working on force welding two dissimilar ions together, or are you working on alloys?
No, I'm working on attempting to meld this life that I have with the life that I have outside the world.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I finished those classes. Apparently, I didn't do as well as I think I did.
Luke, we have spoken about the concept of prying into people. I believe Mr. Carnifex is more comfortable not speaking about himself.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Carnifex. And he'll go back to working on... He's actually going to start cleaning up the coffee machine.
I'm perfectly fine talking about myself.
Oh. I've always been somewhat interested in the fervor that am I to assume that you like the. Actually, he has no idea. He will kind of blink and he'll say, I will assume via the Latin in Britanum that you and the others, Mrs. What is Hannah's second name? Mrs. What is
Leeway.
Hannah's second name? Can you read it?
Oh, you mean her mortal name?
Yeah, the one that she goes that hers is her name.
She introduced herself as Hannah.
Okay, cool. He will say, am I to assume then that my apologies, I never did ask. I introduced myself as such. I am to assume via the Latin vocabularium that has been used earlier that you are Order of Hermes, correct? Either that or possibly no, that would be Greek.
Not all Euthanatoi are Greek, you know. In fact, I don't even think most of Euthanatoi are Greek.
Actually. Well, guess I'm not supposed to say. She shrugs.
What did you say? Sorry, Adam.
She just said, she was about to say something, and then she said, she kind of said jokingly, I suppose I'm not supposed to say, and then she just, kind of smiles very warmly.
I see. No. No, my comment was going to be, I've always been very interested in the work ethic of the Order of Hermes. They take the dedication in practical, the practicalia of their advanced ritualistic dicertum so well. Though it is often rather complicated, but then again, we Society of Ether are rather familiar with the concept complicated.
Yeah, I guess so. Two sides of the same coins, I guess.
Don't let some masters hear you say that.
Let him. I don't care anymore. I can't care like that anymore. It's just not worth it.
Emma's kind of eyeing up Hannah, just kind of like, not really like aggressively, just kind of like curiously. Are you okay, Hannah?
Hmm?
Are you okay? You seem kind of down.
I just try to be calm all the time. But no, I'm not down. Not particularly.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
She smiles and says, appreciate for asking.
No problem. It's kind of our job to help deal with stuff like that.
No? What kind of stuff?
And she just smiles. Depressing stuff, let's just say that.
She nods. Well, I'm glad you do that kind of work.
Someone's got to do it.
Guess so.
If one may make another assumption in that case, Emma, that was your name. My apologies. Since you were so quickly to correct me, one may assume that you yourself are a Euthanatoi.
Nope.
No. My apologies then. May I ask what tradition you are a member of?
You can call me Koragwinek.
This character speaks Gaelic. What does that mean?
It means something like battle crane or something like that.
Interesting. He will respond to you in perfect Irish that Evan is not going to speak because science. He will say, "How very interesting. I didn't realize that there were so many. I didn't realize that there were fluent speakers of the old tongue outside of the island of Erin."
She looks at him and says, "Can you try that in English, please?"
He will then switch to for the record, totally always take Irish on your characters because it's the greatest troll language ever. Whenever people are like, I speak one or two words of language, it's the exact same thing. The exact same thing with Latin. When they speak one, and you can then turn around and speak to them in it, and they're like, "Oh shit, no." But he will say, "Ah, yes, my apologies. I was merely curious as to what that translates to from our perspective."
Okie dokie.
At this point, he'll kind of look down at his watch and he'll smile and he won't smile because you can't tell if he's smiling or not because the math is in the back. He will say, "I think that we should probably be looking towards leaving at this point."
Alrighty then. Alright.
You guys go ahead. I've got to clean up, get this place set up for tomorrow.
I could help you, Luke.
No, it's okay. It's my job.
I insist.
Okay. He'll basically point to some things that he needs you to clean up in the main cafe area while he goes and works on the kitchen.
She'll start doing that. So she'll pick up some of the plates and, bring them over to where he wants and start cleaning them.
Luke will actually be in the back doing scrub prep on the oven itself. Sorry, go ahead, Marcus.
Carnifex kind of walks over to the assembled group that are talking to Hannah or whatever, and he actually does have business cards because he does have an actual job. Yes, he's a liar.
Wow, small surprise, huh?
He gives each one of you a business card if you're in the mood for a personal trainer.
Hannah walked. Well, I mean, I guess Hannah walked away at this point. I'm not sure, unless Carnifex goes to her directly.
Well, he's gonna get with her later.
Okay,
he knows what she's gonna be.
Lily's gonna exchange a business card with you for her gourmet bakery.
This is diametrically opposed to what I do, but I'll take it.
No, it's perfect. She fattens them up, you thin them out.
I'm gonna need you to come by some places with some goods.
Oh, Belladonna's right.
I don't.
Let's see.
Your bakery?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Belladonna's. I was on the forums earlier.
Yeah. It's Belladonna. Belladonna is her bakery. The name of her bakery.
It's also a horrible, horrible poison. I approve.
Anyway, I too have to leave. You all have fun with this. You know where I am. Bye.
See you, Carnifex.
Later.
What? Crap. He gets ready to leave and sits down and waits because he can't leave until Hannah does.
Okay. She says, well, she notices that as she's cleaning, she notices, she says, "Didn't you say you were going to head out?" And she picks up some more plates.
Then I remember that this is a test. You are my test.
What? What test?
It would be very bad if I failed in my test.
What's your house?
It's a personal question.
Very well. All right. Well, suit yourself. And she'll continue to clean.
Clean faster.
That's what he says in character?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, that was in character.
If it is, she's just gonna go at her own pace. She's not really gonna clean any faster or slower than she was before.
There wasn't that much to do up front, so you're pretty much done. Luke's the only one in the back cleaning up pots and pans because of all the food he made, which is sitting in that picnic basket on the table.
All right, Luke. Well, I cleaned the front.
He'll say, "You're good to go. I'll talk to you later.
See you, Luke."
Bye."
So she'll kind of say to she'll go to Carnifex and say, "Is he in the group with everyone else, or?"
Yeah, he didn't go. He was gonna leave. He thought he was free, but he wasn't.
And he'll say to him then, "Well, if you want to head back,
I need you to find out where he's gonna be."
What are you talking about?
The new guy.
He did say he was going to go to the bunker with Miss Smith.
Well, what's the time in character, Brett?
Let's see.
If we're going by the actual time it is in London, it's 3:30 in the morning.
We're not going to go by that time. We're going to go by my current time, which is 10:21 in the evening.
Okay, just to say, well, unless you guys need anything else, I guess I'll be heading back. It was actually nice meeting all of you.
Also, by the way, did Carnifex say openly that he needed to know where he was going, or did you just say that privately to Hannah?
He said it loud enough for everybody to hear. He always. Well, what's weird about him? Carnifex doesn't whisper. He always speaks in a tone that everyone can hear.
Okay. Sorry, Tiger. What was your character's name again?
Danny.
Danny. He will say, Mr. Dan. Sorry, he will say, Daniel and I are going to be leaving to go to the bunker.
Good. Me and Hannah need to be able to report accurately what you're doing.
What's the name of the? Because I know it in character. The name of their chantry guy who I always have to talk to when I contact their chantry.
You talk to him. You don't talk to anybody physically. You talk to Mr. Smith.
No. There was the you said that whenever I had to contact the Hermetic Chantry, there was a guy there who just said the weirdest ass shit on the phone.
Oh, yeah, it's the Adept. Let me look it up real quick. Because I forget what his name is. Because I make so many freaking NPCs. It's not funny.
Yay, ST!
Adept Harcourt.
Yes, he will say, your Mr. Harcourt should know the location, and as do many of your own superiors. So if they deign to share it with you, that is their business.
I can neither confirm nor deny the supposition that I have superiors at that chantry.
Well, Danny, Xavier, Emma, Lily, I'll see you later. And she'll head out. She'll walk out, and she'll head home. Sorry, to the chantry.
Emma would have just waved goodbye. She's actually helping clean up the restaurant.
Everything left to be done is in the back, and if you try to come back and help Luke, he'll say, I got it. You guys can go.
Okay.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Miss Emma.
It's good to meet you too.
I like their shouting match from the hotel.
What'd you say?
Danny looked at Emma and just said, I like their shouting match from the hotel.
I'm sorry?
When I was on the rooftop and you were on the ground and you were trying to talk.
Oh, I got
So
you.
we had to yell.
Very well then. In that case, Danny, would you care to follow me, please? Or Mr. He'll call you Daniel. In that case, Daniel, would you care to follow me, please?
Oh, only if you call me Dan.
As you wish. In that case, Danny, would you care to follow me, please?
He'll nod and get up, grab the basket that Luke provided for him.
It's heavy.
Fine, I have strength 3.
It's still heavy for strength 3.
You're still heavy for strength 3.
Yes, I am actually. But cool. Anyway,
And you know what? He's not leading you outside. He's leading you into the men's bathroom. Just in case you want to react to that at all.
And he's just gonna be like, do you need a minute?
He kind of shakes his head and he says, "Please step inside."
He's gonna give a very worried look at everybody else in the
He's still invited to come along with me. She's
Hey, I mean,
kind of hiding her face from giggling.
hey, Tiger. When a tech priest wants weird ass sex in a bathroom,
Oh, rep.
He's going to take a second and like secure his belt and make sure it won't like come torn off or anything before picking the basket back up and walking into the men's room with him.
at which point I'm gonna send a message back to the chantry because I don't want to walk through London with him. I can, and I'll basically say, "Oh, be aware. How would I need to right phrase this? Requesting transplanar import mention of myself and one other."
you'll get a text back from Mr. Smith. You can just say you're bringing somebody through a portal. That's perfectly fine.
Fine. You know what? That fine totally has a sad face emoji.
I could sense it.
But yes, hey Tiger, you feel every molecule of your being being dematerialized into literally trillions of lines of binary code and being shunted through the Ethernet until you arrive wherever the fuck we're going.
What about the food?
It goes
The
with you.
food is also.
Okay,
All right,
I would
so
imagine. I just want to say, I'd imagine being transported by data being really disconcerting.
But he's
I imagine
walking back to-
transporting anyone is disconcerting, but yeah, especially through data. And you guys arrive at the Bannerman Roadhouse. Let's say you end up in the barracks to be safe, which is basically. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tiger.
Danny will immediately grab whatever the closest like sturdy object and be like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, welcome to matter demolecularization and transport coding.
You hear a voice from overhead. I've informed Sarah Jane of the new person's arrival.
Guy,
Thank
I
you,
dropped
Mr.
out.
Smith.
You're gonna have to simplify it for me.
I demolecularized you on the subatomic level, transmitted your energy and very being into lines of code, and shunted it through an incredibly advanced systems of servers and cycles that is essentially a more upgraded version of the internet, and thus remolecularized you here.
Brett, I don't have any sciences, but I do have Jack of all trades, and it lets me roll knowledges I don't have at a +2 difficulty, so I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, go ahead. Have fun with that. Let's see if you make it.
If you make it, that'd be awesome.
I really want to botch, because all of a sudden he'll just turn around and like hit me with a chair.
No,
I
you
got
have
0
no,
successes.
no clue what he's talking about.
This is the blank look on Danny's face.
You'll hear from overhead. Mr. Daniel, he turned you into computer code and then sent you here.
Please call me Danny, random voice.
I am Mr. Smith. I am the computer for this chantry.
Okay, please call me Danny, Mr. Smith.
Very well, Danny. I will see into your lodgings, and you will find fresh clothing inside as well. Oh, and mind the dog.
What dog?
No.
Please tell me K9 comes running around the corner.
No. It's going to become an ongoing joke. The dog is going to get mentioned Only rare people are going to see it.
Mm-hmm. What was it, Mr. Smith? Please make a note of new running procedure to disallow access to certain points in the facility that may be of danger to Danny here.
Sarah Jane has already instructed me with those protocols, but your continued protocols is, of course, welcome, apprentice.
Excellent.
He adds that with like a snark to his voice.
I'll come up there and I'll rewire your circuits. Not really, but yeah.
All right, so those of you who are still at the coffee house,
I'm just gonna text my mentor and say, "Is it possible to get contact Jor?"
do you need to be cleansed?
No, there's this chick I met who she kind of worries me. Like this chick's just like creeping me out.
I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Wait, are you talking about Hannah?
She'll just text her mentor back. Cool. You want Chinese for dinner?
No, thank you. Already had Thai.
Okay. See you soon. We're almost done with the meetup.
I hope it went well.
You can call it that. Yeah.
Just 3 dots is all you get back.
And then she'll just look up where she was texting.
Okay. What's everybody else doing?
I'm heading back to the Hermetic Chantry.
Okay. I'm assuming Carnifex is right by your side and preventing you from going Zoro-offing.
She's gonna do her best if he is fine, but for the most part, she's trying to use her notes and her phone to try and get there.
Okay.
He will steer you occasionally when you were no.
Right, you guys make it back to Southwark to the Blackfriars Bridge, so you get back to the Chantry, okay?
Awesome.
And what are the 2 Euthanatoi doing?
So, so you guys know, she considers her tradition of personal information, and she only shares that with people who she can trust.
Right.
And she's gonna walk up to Emma and say, "Would you like to come over for dessert with me, my husband?"
I'd love to.
She'll smile. Good.
So it sounds like you guys are going to have a personal conversation later.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Especially, blurting out sub-faction names in the middle of open company.
Not only sub-factions, it's a sub-faction of a sub-faction.
Yeah.
I was going to point out that is going to be a question that I'm going to ask the computer at some point. Identify this in terms of if possible.
You're going to get back I have no clue what you're talking about from Mr. Smith.
Excellent.
Because even he doesn't know that stuff.
That means I get to do research.
Yep. All right, if that's going to be it, well, we'll go ahead and call it here. Tiger, you get your own room within the barracks and clean clothing. And we'll continue on. We're going to time skip ahead 2 months, so I'm going to try to lay out plans for that in the future. So people get together with people that you're sharing stuff with and try to figure out the next 2 months for when we get back to present time. Okay?
Okie dokie.
All right. So, thank you, players, for playing. If we have any watchers for this, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself. This was the first ever scene for Chaos in London. And Mage got it first. Yay. All right. Have a good night.